over here, you know, giving our gratitude for each other, just enjoying the space, because as much as we just are so pleased and honored to be with y'all on a weekly basis, we're also excited to be with each other. You know, sometimes we don't get an opportunity to see each other, see our fam, see our sis, you know, as much as we would like. So that's what we were up to, kind of sidebarring, but welcome. Welcome to Healthy Black Families weekly Shop Smart, Eat Healthy webinar series. We're well into it. This is really exciting. How are you doing, Chef Unia?
I am feeling fabulous.
You look good.
Thank you. As you can see today, I'm outside of the kitchen. And that's mostly because I am cleansing and fasting. And so it's easier for me to not be in the kitchen today, to not be, tempted by all the wonderful delectables in my kitchen, my refrigerator, and, I don't want to fall off in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just look up and I got a piece of something in my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's so hard when you are a chef and you're like cleansing and fasting and you're just like, ooh, this just smells like it tastes good.
Right. And then, I sometimes ideas just be swimming in my head and I'll be laying there and I'll be like, ooh, I could just get up and just make that right quick, So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Nice. Well, welcome everyone out there. We would love to hear from you. We're always interested in what's going on with you and with your life. And right now, what's going on in the world is just so critical. It's so important that we speak on it and that we highlight our struggle. And right now, it's on so many fronts. And so those that are, at home, caring for their families, caring for elders, taking extra, care of themselves, or that are out there in the street and that are out there protesting or that are in strategy meetings. It's so many things to work on. It's so much to do. And our work is centered around health and wellness, but we do so much more than that. And so, we just want to check in a little bit. Chef Unia, what's going on your side of things? What are you seeing and how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. I just wanted to say, it's been really challenging for me. First of all, I want to say welcome, Harriet. Thank you for being here. And let us see your beautiful face. If you don't mind. I know you're looking fabulous over there. As you prepare for that, I just wanted to share that, a few days ago, I did watch the funeral service, the memorial service for our dear brother, George Floyd. And it was very, challenging. It was sad, it was funny, it was, heartbreaking, all kinds of things, and immediately after the service, I just felt so sad. I was angry. I was feeling frustrated, and I was like, what am I going to do? I felt like I needed to do something, And so I reached out to one of my brothers, Brother Dimu, and he allowed me to just cry, and grieve a little bit and vent, just say a few things, about the state of the world. And almost immediately after, I just felt this rush come over me, and this feeling like, because I'm a mama, you know what I'm saying? I have a son and a daughter. So I felt like that brother's spirit, and was like, you got shit to do, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, I just, all kinds of things came to me, and I was making phone calls and putting stuff together. And that's kind of like the spirit that I've been in now. Like there's just so much to be done, right? In support of changing this, like we have to, for me, build and destroy. You know what I'm saying? Like the ways of the old, we can't go back to normal. you know, because normal ain't never been working for us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so this is healthy Black families. And we have a responsibility. So it's like me, I get a chance to dig in deeper into the work that I'm doing, the work that we're doing, you know, and forming more collaborations and cooperations, and you know, being involved in more meetings like local politics. Like there's so much to be done, and so I'm good with whatever people are doing, you know, because something, you know, we got to keep it going because we can't stop until it's done. Like freedom is for real, for real.
Yeah.
None of us are free until all of us are free. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so
Absolutely. And I'm so happy that, you know, people are really showing the multiple sides. You know, I think a lot of times in our community, if we're professionals, we, you know, we kind of put forward the professional thing, and we're told to put aside the struggle and what's going on within, you know, within our communities that we know about that happens every single day. And so what we're seeing is, you know, the masses, you know, I know that me, you, healthy Black families, you know, Mama Harriet, Mama Ayana, we're this way all the time. But for many people, this is an opportunity for them to show where they're really at and what they really feel about things. So that's, you know, that's critical too. And to find that there's a space and a place for that. So we're checking in. Welcome, Mama Ayana. And also, you know, as Chef Unia said, welcome, Mama Harriet. We would love to hear from y'all. Just checking in. How are you feeling? What's coming up for you right now in these times? Let's go, Mama Harriet, if you don't mind unmuting. If you don't want to show your video, that's okay. I know you're probably in transit right now.
She was saying she was having trouble finding it. I didn't know how to guide her. I was just typing that in the chat.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can't hear me. Let's see.
We can hear you, Mama Harriet.
I think she's trying to get to her video. So, we shared in the chat. I'll wait until her get to her video.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how to get the video to show me. So, what's going on with me? I think, like, you know, all of you trying to stay healthy, not, you know, go to the store so often, but keep healthy food in the house. And I was off for a couple of months. I'm back working, but it's a challenge being in the room. I have 10 students, 2 classes, and trying to maintain. So I teach for 8 hours, and a lot of that is theory, and it's really hard to keep a mask on and, you know, try and talk at the same time. So
yes,
often I will put it down just below my nose so that, you know, I'm not really, so when I'm speaking, that my saliva is not going out there and everything. But I'm giving these young people a chance to become nursing assistants, and some of them want to go on to be nurses. It's challenging to go out and even now to see, not only because we know in our society that what we're seeing now is a manifestation of what's been going on since we were brought here to be enslaved. You know, it just takes different it happens in prison, imprisoning our people, and not giving us homes, not allowing us to buy homes in healthy spaces, and I mean in other forms directly from the police, you know, killing us, and other social ills. But it's hard. It's hard to stay mentally healthy. I do a lot of work with another group, which is called Reevaluation Co-Counseling, to do peer counseling. Okay. I do it at least probably three times a week at least, through classes, through counseling with other people. In every class we do counseling too.
And and if you don't mind sharing before we go to Mama Yana, what are the folks, what are your students, what are the people that are in your group sessions, like how are they doing? What are some of the things that they're going through? Because with us, we want folks to know that there's space, for us in our community, different spaces like the one you're providing to be able to get support. So what are some of those things that folks are talking about or going through?
Well, just first, the young people, everybody is concerned about the virus, the pandemic, so to speak, and how to maintain healthy and their families and economics. I have brought it up to the class to give people a chance to speak about the killings, the last few killings that have been, and killings periods, but that white people are out protesting. And they really don't. They're young people. It's not necessarily a setting. In the sessions, there's sessions, but in our class, when we do speak out, it's on everybody's mind. It's everybody's working on those issues, to maintain their mental health and to be able to do something, figure out what we can do, what they can do, to make things better. I have classes where some people of the global majority and some are mixed, with white people, and because it's a progressive organization, the white people are also trying to figure out how to. I talked to a friend today, and she's like, I know I have to talk. She stands up, she steps out, and she speaks up. And when I told her that what happened with George Floyd, she, like, this is not new to us. It hurts just as much, but we see it all the time. It happens to us all the time. And she said she was shocked.
Right.
And we've been friends for probably about 30 years and counsel together. So it's probably not a part of something that I've shared with her really, really deeply. But so.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And we definitely like to keep our post on kind of what's going on out there. And so we're going to go to Mama Yana. Junia, you had a question?
Yeah, before we do that, I just wanted to, I guess, got a little notice on Facebook. Shoshana Frumpkins on saying hey, and so I just wanted to shout her out, and all of our Facebook family who is joining us today. We appreciate your presence here, and we're going to do our best to monitor what's happening on Facebook, and any questions that you have or any comments that you make. We are, we're trying to honor that as well. And I also want to give a shout out to Juanita, who is also joining us as well. It's just really an honor to be in a space where we can really interact with you all, and to let you know that we are just here and supportive as well. Like we're giving out information and all of that, but we also welcome the medicine from you. Just from being here with us is really good for us as well, So thank you. And then Mama Yana.
Yeah. So we're just checking in. Mama Yana is a special guest, and we'll hear from her in just a bit. But just if you don't mind checking in with us, letting us know how you're doing and what are some of the conversations and things that are happening in your world right now.
It's deep. I participate in community on multiple levels. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
And so attending some of the teach-ins and organizing meetings for Movement for Black Lives, which have 5 demands. We had Healthy Black Families, where I'm director of programs. We had our building an altar and vigil for honoring Black lives. I was able to lead for Roots Community Health Center, their community forum last week, a mindfulness activity, breathing for Black lives, because it's all about our lives right now. And poured libation for someone's, I think, getting ready to come in the door, maybe not. Poured libations for the march to bury racism in Berkeley on Saturday morning, which we were surprised how big it got, and the leadership of the youth On multiple levels, I have been going internally, striving to keep myself centered because I've been crying a lot. That video, the other videos, the youth and people out in the street seeing their pain and rage and the abuse. I think there's up to 10 people that have been killed by the police since the uprisings and the demonstrations began. So it continues to be heartbreaking to be Black and resist in the United States and across the world. We know that the world is watching and joining in with us, and that for myself, my first police murder demonstration was in, I believe, 1979 for Tyrone Guyton, who was killed by police. He was a 9-year-old killed by police for playing with his water gun over there on 51st and Telegraph. And it's gone on and on. The work with Black August is in particular in focus to those who have died in prisons and been killed by and murdered in prisons. These are often our voiceless and neglected people as well. And including, we have the MOVE, besides George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, W.L. Nolan. It's historical, right?
It's since we've been here, like we came here on violence and atrocities. Like it wasn't like we woke up and said, "Hey, I'm gonna try to get over to America, see what's up." Like the whole inception of it has been filled with brutality.
But let me say this, because I think it's very important for us to acknowledge that never has there been a time that we haven't resisted, right?
Absolutely.
Which is part of, my spiritual ceremony work and my political work and my professional work, right? To interweave our resistance in all that we do, and then just pointing to what Harriet was saying, also to deal with the trauma of it. So when we have ceremonies, like we had our honoring the fallen, when we have commemorations like Black August, when Harriet does her sessions with her group, what's the name of it, Harriet?
Reevaluation co-counseling.
Reevaluation co-counseling. Or we do our sisters circles, Sisters Together Empowering Peers with Healthy Black Families, or the motherhood circles with Roots Community Health Center. Then we're talking about bringing in trauma and trauma work into our resistance, into our education, into our movement work. It's very important, and it's been, I remember when first time I went to visit at San Quentin, I thought I was taking in, and I think I did in some ways, bringing meditation, bringing healing and trauma healing, and that I was a very young woman, realizing through a really impactful conversation I had with Afeni Shakur. Afeni Shakur said that in our movement, she was speaking to the Black August Women's Task Force, and she said in our movement that we are traumatized. We have historical trauma, right? This is in the 80s, so it's 20 years, or the early 80s, so it's 15 years from the war on Black America that was initiated through, that's ongoing, that's a whole nother conversation. But she was talking about how we were traumatized and how we didn't have anything in place for our mothers and our men who were getting out of prison, or the women who were in the movement.
Mama Yana, I think that this is a perfect segue, because we really want to get the information out there around what we need to do. And I know that you're just such an amazing resource. People have been coming to you for decades,
Really?
to understand, even whether it be venting or to get some of your professional expertise. So if you can briefly tell us a little bit about your background around healing and herbs and essential oil work, and then get right into what are some of the oils, what are some of the herbs, what are some of our plant friends and family that we can use during this time to help us relax and sleep well. I know so many people aren't sleeping well right now, and
look at my
we know,
bags.
right, we know that that's going to be the thing that spreads dis-ease in our bodies and in our community. So if you can tell us a little bit about what we can be taking, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Hey, thank you. So you asked about my background. I started as a herbologist in Oakland with my store, The Flowing Gourd, and the community kept coming to me, the elders, right? God told me to come to you. I was meditating, I was praying, God told me to come to you and told me you have what I need. And so I began to ask them what they needed. And I was blessed to have while I was bringing the herbs and the flower essences and oils come with them. And so I started in about 1985, creating my own aromatherapy products. And I've also studied traditional plants and plant and Orisha medicine with Fagbemi Ogundele. I took a wonderful class with Bobby Cespedes, studied with Grandma's Hands, Renee Abdullah, was with many activist women, other activist women, including Muja Shakir and Nehanda Imara and Shakuru Sanders and Hadia McLeod and Aisha Boone. We started the Black Women's Health and Healing retreats and conferences. And I got deeper into the healing process and eventually decided to go back to school and get my master's in traditional Chinese medicine, and which has a focus on holistic health and herbs. So on that note, I've been studying herbs and flowers and aromatherapy for, well, let's just say almost 40 years. That's when I was a little girl. So, and I planted my first garden when I was 4. So when we talk about aromatherapy and herbs and flowers, it is their essence, their essential oils, the what would you call it? The molecular makeup of the plants, from the root to the bark, to the herbs, to the flower, to the essence of the flower. And they interact in multiple ways. And in particular, one of the ways that they interact is, of course, if we apply heat to them, which is the base for much of aromatherapy. Or you would probably say, hey, but when I use a spritzer bottle, like this here, Maya Starroot Medicine, is at the farmer's market. This is her rose geranium hydrosol, right? You're like, it's not hot, but when it interacts with your body, when it gets to that 98.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it does heat up and it interacts with your own molecular structure. So when you talk about aromatherapy, when you talk about herbs, there's multiple ways to do it, but today we're just going to talk pretty much about extracts, teas, and essential oils, and the healing powers of them. And what am I doing, right, for stress, right? I learned about Rescue Remedy a long time ago, and I'm using Rescue Sleep. Sorry, y'all. Can you see it? Oh, here it is, Rescue Sleep. And it's a remedy, very gentle, and for your body, mind, and spirit. And it has some really good herbs in it: white chestnut, rose, rock rose, what they're calling clematis, impatiens, cherry plum, and Star of Bethlehem. Safe, natural, effective. I'm not going to be pushing people's products, but Rescue is really good for stress, and Rescue Sleep is really good for sleep. It works in about half an hour.
And what kind of remedy is that? You said
this is a Bach flower remedy. And
okay.
so Bach flowers are, Bach was an herbalist and homeopath who pretty much combined the essences, the homeopathy, which is taking the minute parts of a flower or an herb and putting it into a way for the body to take it in. This one goes on your tongue. So sleep, another one that I've been using because I've been hypersensitive since I was a child, and because it's been an issue with me since I was a child. And right now I'm thinking and worrying and planning and strategizing and putting my mind to rest. So my kind, Garden of Life Mind Kind, sleep well, rest and relaxation, RNA spray, relax to fall asleep quickly. This has some lemon balm in it, hibiscus, chamomile, passion flower, and green tea.
Yeah. And if you can share with us, sort of just break down, because I know some people, like, they may not want to spend a whole lot of money on like certain products, and they're just like, just give me the herb, you know, just give me the biggest active ingredient. So can you tell us about, like, you know, specifically, like, what are some of the herbs or active ingredients, so that when we go to the store, we maybe can just spend a couple dollars on
rosemary.
I really encourage people, as an herbalist, I really encourage people to do their research into herbs and to start slow and easy. And I rarely recommend people using just one herb or flower by themselves. I really, from my understanding, herbs work best together, combined in synergy.
Sound like people.
Exactly. Sounds like people. And so I don't have chamomile. I do have lavender, and I just had the passion flower. These are good herbs for relaxation. People were like, isn't lavender just an oil? No, you could actually take some lavender flowers, a passion flower, some chamomile, some maybe a little peppermint, and steep it. You don't want to boil. You want to bring your water to a boil and then steep it. If you're just beginning, I mean, I really do encourage trying out, starting small, 3 herbs or so, and see how your body responds to them.
And when you're saying steep it, you're saying to put the herbs in that water, turn the heat off of it, put the herbs in the water.
To pour the water over the herbs, actually.
Okay.
I think that's the best way to do it, is you have your teapot or your steeping cup, and you're going to pour the water, put your herbs in first, or flowers, and then pour the water over them. Rose is another one. Rose petals are also, can be used for stress and sleep.
Nice.
And how do you, go ahead.
I got a quick question. I just noticed here in the chat, Sister Juanita was asking, are there any herbs that are not safe for children? She has girls that are 3 and 7, and so she was asking that question.
There's lots of herbs that aren't safe for children. So if you're talking about children, I would just pretty much start with chamomile, you know, and maybe a sprinkle of lavender. I wouldn't use passion fruit with passion flower till you're past your menses, because they interact with your hormones. So peppermint, chamomile, lavender, those are really good herbs to use with children.
Okay, and then the other ones you say just not yet? Not yet?
Not yet. Yeah, I wouldn't use Bach flower, though. Though Bach does make some remedies that are child specific, so you would have to go to the herbal section. But if you're talking about making your own tea, making your own bath, because these very things can go in a bath, so you can put rose petals in a handkerchief, tie it up, put it in your bath, right?
Right,
Rose
right.
petals, chamomile, lavender, and lay back and relax and put it in your children's bath. I find essential oils. So the sprays like a lavender and peppermint spray can be very helpful. Putting a few drops in your bath. I brought my little medicine bag here. So you might, I know you don't want to go spend a whole lot of money, but you can go to like Mandela or Berkeley Bowl and get you a little, this is about $7.99, I think, of lavender, and put a few drops in the bath, right? The same thing with peppermint. You could probably
That was going to be my next question for you, actually, is like,
How do you
knowing
use
that, well, not just how to use it, because you kind of talked about that. We have our teas, we have spray, you can put it in your bath. But now I'm just wondering, like, with our limited kind of resources now, whether it be us getting it from, you know, a local free source like a garden or a store, like, where should we go? And then, like, what would be the priority? What would be at, like, sort of the top of your list of kind of affordable, like, if you can't get all the other stuff, you know, try to build up your pantry or your, you know, medicine cabinet with some of these things?
The most local affordable place I know in Berkeley is Lhasa Karnak, and that's Llahsa, I believe. Karnak, Karnak. And they are located on Dwight Way and Shattuck, and they're also located on, I believe it's Hearst, Berkeley Way.
San Pablo near Dwight Way.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dwight Way and San Pablo, and then Berkeley Way and Shattuck in North Berkeley. Then you have Rainbow in San Francisco, Rainbow Foods. They may have the most affordable essential oil and herb section and the biggest in the Bay Area outside of Lhasa Karnak. And next after that, I would say, is Berkeley Bowl. They have a good section and selection. And then Mandela Foods.
Yeah.
And Food Mill. Least we forget.
That's right.
Food Mill in East Oakland. Food Mill in East Oakland
cool.
has a good selection. And all of these places have professionals there that can talk to you and work with you. So you don't have to pay someone. You can actually utilize the staffs at the stores. Even Whole Foods has a professional available in the herb section if you just have to go there.
Yes, that's great. I just noticed in the chat that someone was saying that Food Mill accepts EBT for herbs. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, everybody doesn't do that.
And I also, Rainbow does as well.
Okay.
So I do a couple times a year, go to Rainbow, save up a little money, go to Rainbow.
I need to roll with you.
Okay, that would be great, Hunia. It really would. And
what would you recommend? What let's say 5 items that if someone doesn't have anything in their, you know, tea herbs category yet, these are the 5 things affordable that you should start off with.
So we're talking stress and sleep, right? Or just
sleep,
kitchen
trauma,
the immune system.
Okay, all of that. And we have multiple areas. So just for your kitchen table medicine cabinet, tea tree oil, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's great for your immune system, and you can use it on multiple things, whether it's a rash or a cut, or put it in your bath, for your hair, or razor bumps, or dandruff, tea tree fungus on your feet. It's just great. And it's great to use in making your own products as well. But that could be another class. Then,
like you said products, you mean like
cleaning products, household products.
Yeah, and like laundry too.
Laundry, yes, I put it
Yeah.
in my laundry, in my dishwashing detergent, in the spray I make for my bathroom, and the spray I make for my kitchen. And so then the next would be peppermint.
Okay.
Peppermint is really great for your immune system. You can smell it, and it clears your head. It is, if you have a sore throat with children, my granddaughter likes to take my peppermint spray, which I do get from Berkeley Bowl. I just give her a bit of the spray with, on her finger and put it on the tip of her tongue. And it really helps her center. It is great for relaxation. So it's another one. You put just 3 or 4 drops in your bath. You can put it on the end of a wash rag and put that wash rag in your dryer to dry and cinch your clothes. If you are work out or a runner like my husband, Baba Mastery Timber is, then we put the peppermint in the tea tree directly, a few drops in the water when we wash our clothes. Then I like grapefruit. I like grapefruit.
Okay.
I love grapefruit. You can use grapefruit as a spray to repel animals from animals using the bathroom in front of your yard.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yes. But more than anything, it's really uplifting, right? And you can see the magic of it. If you slice a grapefruit, I don't have one with me, but if you open it up, it just looks so beautiful and magical. So it mixes really well with a lot of other herbs, which would be, my next one would be lavender. And lavender, the wonderful property of lavender is that it balances for what you need. So if you need to relax, lavender will relax you. If you need a little upliftment, lavender will uplift you. Lavender is
applesauce too.
And it's good for a lot of things. I mean, you can put lavender again on cuts and burns. It helps boost your immune system. It is an antiviral, antibacterial, just like tea tree and peppermint and grapefruit are as well.
Nice.
And then, so the fourth one.
So we have peppermint, we have tea tree, we have
lavender, and grapefruit.
Okay, so the fifth one, wow.
Yeah, that's a big one for me because a bunch are coming to mind. But right now in season, that's blooming, we have rose geranium.
I know that's your favorite.
It is one of my all-time favorites. One reason it became my favorite is one time I got bit just briefly by a wasp. And the only oil I had on me at that time was rose geranium, and I put a little on the bite, and it healed the bite. And so I know that it works with histamine. And it's an uplifter. It's an antidepressant. Children love it. It keeps bugs away from your plants in your garden, and it is just a really joyful plant. And the really good thing about it, right? You see this little plant here, this little branch I took off one of my plants. You can take these 2 or 3 little leaves and put this in a pot or the ground and water it for a few days, and it will become another plant or flower for you. So it propagates really well. It's just incredible. Rose does the same thing. My other choice would be your rose. Rose is really expensive. So I would say get you some rose hydrosol spray or something like that. Again, with rose, you can take the bottom branches of a rose and stick it in the ground and water it, and it will make you another rose bush.
That's pretty awesome. You know, I know, kind of just asked for 5, but I just rediscovered old school. Now, this lets you know how old school I am. Golden seal.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Golden seal for everything.
Right.
Like everything. I no, for real. Like it's just a mainstay in everything. Can you
It
tell
is amazing.
Can you share the
Mhm.
love with me on that, please, Mama
I
Yana?
do. And golden seal is a powerful root. So you do want to, but and it's strong, and that's part of the medicine of it.
Yes.
And
I
it,
like it
you can
strong,
use
baby.
golden seal by itself, or it mixes really well with almost every other herb. Mama Jasiri from Ile Omode, one of her really wonderful recipes was she would make some golden seal tea, and she would make a big gallon of hibiscus,
Mm-hmm.
and she would sweeten it with cinnamon, and she would add the golden seal to it, and we would give it to our babies every day. So golden seal is an antiviral and antibiotic, right? And the golden color, just like turmeric, lets you know that it is joyful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the part of its medicine is it activates a higher energy in you. So it boosts your immune system, right? And because of most roots look kind of like bones, a lot of them are good for our bones and our joints. So as a root or an herb, those two, turmeric, ginger, golden seal, because I know you love ginger like me too, are wonderful. And then ginger oil in itself has its own uplifting properties and
Yeah,
antidepressant
I remember you told me
properties
about that
and
ginger
pain.
oil when I hurt my knee,
Mm-hmm.
and I would rub it on it, and it's so warming, and it really it works very effectively and very quickly. Thank you so much, Mama
I have one
Yana.
more thing to say about that.
If you have any closing
Yeah, I
thoughts,
do.
we have our youth water ambassador
Hi,
on.
Kaya. I saw you, and Harriet's
Yeah.
here. So combining, for aromatherapy, or say you wanted lavender, peppermint, and ginger are really good for pain as well, right? As essential oils. So I would do my recipe is 1, 2, 3 before you start, right? So starting with the one that's most strong, you would only do one part, and the next strongest one, maybe 2 parts. And then, so if say you were using ginger, lavender, and grapefruit, you could easily, ginger would be your 1, grapefruit would be your 2, lavender would be your 3. Parts per part. So if you have something like this, you were using 10 drops or 12 drops of lavender, 6 drops of grapefruit, and 3 drops of ginger.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been incredible. I've learned so much. I took notes. I hope everyone else out there took some notes. And if you stick around, I'm sure some people might chime in at some point at the end, like, wait, I have some more questions. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to transition and get into Kaya, our youth water ambassador. Kaya's been coming on for about a month and a half now, and just educating us and sharing her experience as a youth water ambassador. So one of our programs with Healthy Black Families is that we train adults and youth to talk about water, its benefits. We talk about big soda and sugar sweetened beverages. And so this time, since, we're going to have our adult water ambassadors in the future for the next couple sessions. And Kaya, this will probably be, for the moment, one of your last sessions with us. I would love for you to just share with us, what has this experience been like, getting on this webinar, sharing with the entire community what your knowledge is, and how do you feel?
It feels really great. It's been really nice to talk to you guys and see everyone, and just be able to share what I've learned with others. And, I don't know how big this is, but it does feel like I'm making a difference. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yes,
And are you
absolutely
are you sharing these webinars with your friends?
Not a lot of them are on Facebook, so.
Oh wow! Are you trying to say we're antiquated? Well, you can copy the link and share it. Oh, she's like,
I'll do that with the next ones.
When you're not on it.
We're gonna download this to your Snapchat or something. We're gonna figure it out.
Goodness.
Right. So, I would love for you to give us an update because we came to your school in March, Berkeley High, big up Berkeley High, pew, pew, pew. All right. And I know that at that time, you weren't probably drinking as many sugar sweetened beverages as you once were, but you were still, in that life. And so can you say like where you're at with it now? I know during quarantine, some people have gotten a lot healthier and some people have kind of gone the other way with it. So where are you at with it? And also where are your peers at? Like we had a chance to kind of check in with all of us. So we want to check in with you, given everything that's going on in the world. Like what are folks in your world talking about and especially in regards to health?
Well, yeah. So, for me, I have gotten a lot better. I'm not stopping at Starbucks or Walgreens on the way to school anymore, but,
Good for you.
Yeah. And a lot of my, friends, they're very sporty and very like healthy, but I think definitely like going to school and, especially around Berkeley High, the prices for food is crazy. Like to get anything remotely healthy is like, you need a crazy budget for that. So I think like definitely being at home and having, access to actually cooking your food and, drinking water opposed to going to the store every time you want something to drink is I think a lot of me and my peers are getting a lot healthier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the next thing for you, which I think we would love to encourage you to do this through Healthy Black Families because eventually folks are going to have to go back to school, like this whole period of time where we're prepping at home and not having the temptation, is going to be over at some point. So I would love for you to kind of think about what would a guidebook look like, or maybe even a short video on how to stay healthy when quarantine is over, on a budget. Where are the places that you can go to? What are the things that you can do? Because we talk about this as adults all the time. Like, oh, I'm tired of eating out. I'm tired of spending all this money. But y'all, as young adults and high school folks are having to deal with the same thing. And I don't really hear a lot about like young people kind of putting each other up on game about how to stay healthy at that point. So if you can think about it now, like what would you say to like 3 tips, I guess, would you put out there to young people when they start venturing out of the home back into the world? How do they keep it going?
Well, yeah, that's kind of hard. I think that for me, a lot of the time when I wanted to be healthy around Berkeley High, it was mostly just going to Trader Joe's. Like that's pretty much all I would do for lunch is go to Trader Joe's, get a salad, get a little wrap. And I think like if I think it's really important that you bring a lunch. And I know like it's really hard to do that when you are a kid and you have homework and your parents are not really tripping about you that much anymore. It's like, I know that it's really hard to stay healthy with your food and stay consistent with what you eat, your diet, as a teenager. But I think that it's really important that, you track what you eat a little more. I don't know if that's what you were asking, but.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think what you're saying makes sense, and I'm gonna pass it over. You know, if Chef Unia has any other questions for you, but I think what you're saying is you have to know yourself. You know,
Yeah.
you have to know yourself, and also like what is the best option for you. You know, and I think sometimes we kind of our friends are like, hey, let's go here, let's go there, and we're like, we want to be a part of the group. You know.
Right.
And so we're like, okay, we'll go. And so, you know, if we bring a lunch, then we can still go, you know, and have our lunch. Or we just make a decision, you know what, I don't eat that. I've got to go to Trader Joe's, or I got to go
Right.
to, you know, another store and get what I got to go, you know. So thank you for that. And again, we're definitely going to reach out to you in the future and see about like creating like a guide, because young people need that.
Yeah. For sure.
Any other questions, Chef Unia?
No, I just want to continue in my gratitude and my big ups to you. You know, just having watched you continue to flourish, and you know, here again, you know, you pop up with some new stuff, you know, every time. So I just want to continue to encourage you, because I know the challenge. You know, I've raised, you know, children who are, you know, going against the grain, so to speak, and I got a chance to watch them go through similar experiences in terms of like having to navigate between two worlds. And so I just really commend you, because I know you know, it's not easy. And
Thank you.
you know, because the fast food industry and whatnot, they target you especially with the, you know, the tobacco products and the fast food and the, you know, all kinds of evil in the world, you know. And so for you to have the fortitude and the wisdom at such an early age is really commendable. And so keep up the good work and keep on shining your light. And you know, we got you. You know, we got you in terms of being of support to you in this journey. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I just want to echo something that Kaya put out there that I'm just starting to sort of, it sunk in. You said it, and I don't know if this is what you meant by it, but it sunk in this way for me. Kaya's like, you know, it's just me. We trained quite a few young people, and Kaya was the only one to kind of complete. And so it's really important though that it's not just you.
Yeah.
We need to keep training other young people, because you need a squad, you need a team. You know, we're very social and we learn from each other and we put each other on game. Like if I didn't have Chef Unia, if I didn't have, you know, Mama Yana and the other people that were around me to keep me motivated and on path, I'm just feeling alone. You know, I'm just feeling like, well, who else is talking about this? You know, so I'm going to take that charge up, Kaya, and as Healthy Black Families, I believe we're going to take that charge that we need to get back out there and keep training young people so that we can have a whole squad on here next time.
Absolutely. I think this is a good opportunity to offline, like get with her and maybe even the ones who started to find out what happened so that we can, you know, be of support in getting some incentives, you know, to get more young people involved with that, because you do need to be, it would be good for you to have a squad, you know what I'm saying? That's awesome. So yeah, we can support you in that. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I'd like to say that Healthy Black Families did training and presentations at Berkeley High for over 30 students, and at BTech as well. We hosted a health party, and Kana herself did 4 trainings there with up to about 10 students over the spring. And we will be training our youth water ambassadors. So there are openings if anyone is interested in joining and learning how to take down big soda and to fight predatory targeting of our young people with sugary beverages, and to learn about health and wellness and nutrition.
Maybe we can put that in the chat. Is there like a link or something?
I'll
where
give
we
you
can-
an email address.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yay. So where
Thank you
we
so
at?
much, Kaya.
We're at
Love
Thank you guys. It's been
Thank you,
great.
Kaya,
Thank
so
you.
much. All right. Oh,
So I'm gonna give my sugar update because like Kaya, I learned a lot, you know, through this process. And even though I knew a lot about sugar before, it's just a different charge when you're in the work. And when you're in the work and you have other, you know, folks that are working with you, you kind of become just more self-aware.
yes.
And that's what happened to me. That's sort of my testimony through working with the Thirsty for Change program and Healthy Black Families is, you know, sort of observing my own sugar addiction. And it was real, you know, it was something that I knew about and
Mhm.
thought it was, you know, lightweight compared to other kinds of addictions that are out there.
Yes.
And I am telling you, it's so deep and it's so rooted in the way that, you know, we feel about ourselves, our ability to concentrate, our ability to motivate and get done some of the things that we hope to accomplish. So today for me is day 50, sugar free.
Yay, Kana.
Thank you.
Sugar free.
And do y'all see the skin?
Oh shoot, let me see. Look at you. Okay then. Okay.
You look
Not
incredible.
Not a blemish there at all.
I'm just saying, like, and folks are like, you always had that skin. No, ma'am.
Right.
No, sir. It's been pretty good. I can't lie. I've been really blessed. But all these little bumps that I used to have right in this T-zone, like forevermore, it would just be like maybe one day they'd be a little less and then the next day they're right back. And then one day they'd be a little and the next day they're right back. And it was just like, I didn't understand. I'm like, what is that? And now I can say like, that was sugar. That was sugar showing up in my face. When I was in chiropractic, I had, you know, and even, you know, long-term gut issues that I've talked about with people. And I'm like, it must be food allergies. It must be, you know, beans, gas, you know, it's got to be something. And my chiropractor is like, I think it's sugar. And I was like, that can't be it. I don't even eat that much sugar, you know. And my gut health is so much better, just the feeling in my whole body. And so I'm just encouraging, if you have, you know, the desire or the ability to, not even the ability, because we all have the ability, but if you have the desire and the will, I guess, to go down that journey, it's just so many great benefits that I'm promised, some that I can't even discuss on this video. All right. But also just in fat loss, you know, like I would work out and I would still have like that belly, but like I still have a belly, but it's like it's different now, you know. Right. And it's not as I don't know, it like I don't feel that inflammation. And so we talk about anti-inflammatories. Other than drinking a whole lot of water, the biggest thing that we can do for ourselves right now, as far as like eliminating inflammation, is to eliminate sugar, processed sugar. You know, I'm still having fruit, so I'm still having natural sugar and, you know, the fiber added and all that good stuff. But
I was just about to say, like, no sugar. I was like, wait a minute, but you said processed sugar, so that was great. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes. So just fruit, no honey, no stevia, no sweeteners. You know, basically is what it is for me. And for those that are transitioning and maybe want to do a little bit of things here and there, I encourage, you know, cut out the white sugar and go with something, you know, like a honey or something, not even agave, but just honey,
syrup,
cinnamon, you know, some of the sweeter kind of, you can, dates, dates are
Yeah.
basically like sugar,
I
you
love
know, when you blend them or when you just eat them, you know. Plantain, very
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
It's basically
Sweet
like
potato.
adding a cookie into your meal, you know, by adding plantain. So I'll give my update when I get to day 90 if I'm still with, you know, if we're
Okay.
still doing this, if
What's,
we're not in
what's,
person. But
what's your goal? What's your goal for this in terms of
yeah,
days?
so initially it was going 90 days,
Okay.
right? That was my initial. And now that I'm seeing all these benefits, just kind of waking up and being like, ooh, I'm
Yeah.
feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really trying to move into a lifestyle that's you know, processed sugar free. First I was like, oh, I'll have cake on my birthday and my mama's birthday.
Right.
But now
Right.
I'm like, you know, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to introduce that again back into
Yeah.
my system because it's so addictive. It's an addiction. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to give up crack except for on my birthday and on. I'm
Ooh, now
serious.
you taking it too far now. Take it too
No,
far now.
no,
But I know what
I'm
you're saying.
not.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Because cocaine is only a molecule or two away from processed sugar, and it's probably just as addictive, you know. And so we don't like to say that because we like our sugar, and you know, we don't want to be compared to those that we, you know, separate ourselves from. But in this country, addiction is pretty much a part of capitalism.
Yes, everybody's addicted to something, for sure.
No,
Yep, I agree.
it comes with the territory. It's what
Yeah.
keeps us in a line, you know, in line. It's what makes us feel that, you know, it basically quells our inadequacies. You know, it tells us we're not good enough, and here goes something to make you feel better.
And it's definitely linked to consumerism, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
Right. Mama Yana, I don't know if you're speaking, you're muted, but okay. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And so I know that what you're doing for yourself right now, Chef Hunia, I'm so excited about, and I'm so thrilled and I'm inspired by. Like, I'm going to be starting, well, actually today is my first day starting 21 days raw, but
Okay.
you're doing juice.
Yeah.
That's even more. And so
Yeah.
tell us, like, where do we get some things from? How do we get started on that? What does that even look like? Act like we've never even heard of such a thing, you know, and kind of build us up from where you're at now. Cause
yeah,
you know,
so it started a week ago. I'm in this, like, I decided to kind of pause, you know, with the whole catering and everything. And so I started with this in this incubator group primarily around my business. And one of the sisters in there, her business is called the Re-Up, and it's a chakra cleanse. And so we all try to support each other in our businesses and whatnot. And I was like, hey, you know, I'll do this with you, you know. And so that's where it started off. So it's every day for 7 days, we do these different juices in alignment with the chakras, right? Moving from the root to the crown, right? And so it has just felt so good to give my body a pause. Like, you know, while I'm pausing for the cause of everything else, like to just give my body a pause. And at first, like the first couple of days was like, oh my God. It was like, you know, I was with my roommate, you know, we were doing it together, and I wake up the next day and she got toast. I was like, oh God, it's like, oh my God, I smell toast. And so I was kind of going through that thing. And then even a couple of times, like as I'm juicing, I realize I'm eating all the grapes. I'm like, oh shit, catch yourself, right?
So it's just juice.
It's just different.
And how are you alive right now?
Man, just fruit and vegetable juice. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, like my on the 7th day she rested, right? The 7th day, my cousin came over. I hadn't seen her in years. I prepared a meal, so I had a little bit with her. I forgave myself real quick, and I was like, okay. And but it has been such a treat that I've extended it now, and I don't even know. Like I don't even have an end game for it. I just decided that I'm going to change forever the way I put food in my body. And it has nothing to do with raw or cooked or none of that. It just has to do with honoring my body's right to rest and to just get in alignment with whatever's happening, holistically. And so this week I just hired a trainer because I want to sculpt my body. Like there's some things.
Right on.
I got a little quarantine 15 over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get rid of this. I got the egg roll over here and a little, it's just some stuff going on, right? And so I feel good. I feel a heightened awareness. I'm just paying more attention. Like I'm just real slow. If I get tired, I don't have I'm gonna lay down for a minute. I'm not in a rush to do anything. I'm not. I have confidence in whatever I'm building with my business. I have confidence in whatever collaborations that I'm making. I have confidence that Black people are winning this thing. Like everything I know, it's all good. Like it's all good. And I
love that.
I feel weird because I feel like I'm probably only going to eat maybe, like, honestly, it sounds crazy, like once or twice a week, like for real. Like that's
solid.
That's solid.
Right, like, it's such a pleasure to be in this company because I feel like many of us, I know, probably me, you, Mama Yana, and quite a few of us, we have found food to be the end way, towards other aspects of our spirituality, of our politics. It's sort of this key foundation. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, how did you discover or where is, like, how would one understand that? Or, or is it just something you'd have to just try for yourself?
Over the years, I have fasted, like my journey began like college, Grambling University, like, just different phases of this thing, right? But I just, what I know is whatever is being promoted as the norm, we have to shy away from that. You know what I'm saying? We had whatever is promoted as the norm, it ain't good for us. Like, what, all this conversation about going back to the way it used to be or to the norm, that ain't working. That has never worked, right? And it is just, I have just learned over the years to honor what my body is telling me. When I go in the grocery store, I just kind of stand there for a few minutes. Y'all know I like the luxury shop, and I just let the spirit, I just let the food talk to me. I decide, what it is that I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. And so I am just feeling like I'm in alignment with what's happening with the planet. The planet is called for a pause, right? And for me, it just went even deeper, like pause on everything, everything. I don't have to, and I feel like I went way off the question here. But
no,
it's just, I can't even explain the amount of peace that I'm feeling right now, the amount of surety I'm feeling right now in everything that I'm doing, with everybody that I'm related to. And the other thing, like, so much is coming up in my relationships with everybody. Like, anything that needs to be healed is coming up. And I be wanting to take a drink of something other than this juice, right? Because it's all coming up for me to deal with. Like, it's like, because I believe that, the internal reflects, right? So I'm having conversations with me about my money, my relationships with my family and my friends, my romantic, like, just, I'm even like figuring out, like, how long I'm gonna be here in the States? You know what I'm saying? Like, with all this stuff going on, like, I'm real clear. I don't need to be no place where I ain't wanted. you know, like y'all don't want to treat us right, like let's go. Like it's all good. You know what I mean? So it's just so many spaces and places that are, it's not just about food. It's all together. You know what I mean?
So it's not just about food is the point. Mama Yana, talk to us a little bit. Like, was yours the herbs? Was it fasting? Was it, you know, produce? What was your sort of like, how did you fall in love with food and use it to go into other spaces and places, you know? And if, yeah, and Harriet, thank you for still being with us too. I want to hear from you too. Like, what is your food journey now? You know, and none of us are sort of at a perfect place with it. You know, all of us are moving into more alignment. And so we, you know, we want to represent that as well. So Mama Yana, can you share with us?
Hold on, before Mama Yana, before you come, I just want to do a quick time check, y'all, just because it's been good. I go on forever, but it is 2:09. So I just want us to be aware of that. We did say 2 o'clock, so let's, you know.
Okay.
Okay, I thought we were going 2:30-ish.
Yeah, I
but
thought this webinar, I think, is till 2:30.
Okay, no problem.
So, it gets deep. I was at going to
Mama
junior
Harriet's
college.
outside, Mama Yana.
What?
Mama Harriet's outside.
Tell her to come on in. Come on in, Harriet.
That's funny.
Get on in here. So I was very young, going to school at College of Alameda, taking a yoga class, taking biology followed by yoga. So I would go into biology, learn biology, and then go into yoga and meditate with it and move with my body. And it changed me. Someone had also taught me about sugar, and I began to recognize my sugar addiction, which I still struggle with kind of. And I began to learn to fast and move. I got to let Harriet in.
Yeah, Harriet need to come and sit next to you.
Okay. We're in the Healthy Black Families office, y'all. And I don't know if we can bring Harriet into, whoops. Anyway, hi, Harriet. Oh, yeah, I got to put my mask on. Okay. So maybe we can get over here, Harriet, and just talk. So basically what happened was the meditation and the yoga helped. I had started having what I call spiritual awakenings. And I ate, a friend of mine's brother had killed a cow, and I had ate this really fresh, killed organic meat, and which I still believe in if you're a meat eater. And it imprinted on my body. And I decided that I didn't want to eat meat anymore. So I started by first giving up red meat, and I had an experience with bacon, the addictions in bacon, and I realized I was addicted to the sugar and salt and meats, and so I kind of released that fast and began to learn about plant-based eating. So, of course, we are maybe telling the world, hey, give up your addiction to meat and sugar and
give it up.
Foods, give it up. Because number one, it's healthier for your body, and it's also healthier for the planet. So when we talk about plant-based eating, when we talk about eating as fresh and natural as possible, we're talking about doing things like often eliminating packaging and other toxins that come in through that, to support. It also supports your immune system and your internal organs, so you're not as hard on your kidneys and your liver and your heart and your brain. And we can't talk about sugar without talking about its impact on our brain chemistry.
Absolutely.
Right? how it goes into the brain in the area of addiction of the brain, the blood, how it goes directly into the bloodstream, absorbed from the stomach, in particular with sugary beverages. And then the health equity. So then the other part of it for me kind of is the impact of this unhealthy eating on our community, in particular sugary beverages, where we die just here in Alameda County, but across the country, with the top states being Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi, with health disparities and health inequities, where we are dying 50% more than any other people from heart disease, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease. So how we eat impacts greatly our health
Right.
levels. Now, I would like, Harry, would you like to say something? No, Harriet doesn't want to say anything.
Okay, it's okay, and just
So
wrapping
you
up
have to
whatever.
talk in this.
I think
No.
that when I
Yeah.
think about it, like that aspect, because everyone that's in the
Oh,
Zoom right now,
Jokes.
we do our
Hypertension, high
activist
blood
work
pressure.
as well. We're organizers. We're people that are of the community, and
Yes.
so we're deeply studied in the history and struggle of our people.
Right.
And knowing what sugar and sugar plantations have represented for us historically,
Yes.
it's sort of this resistance resilience model when we give up sugar.
Sure.
When we say, hey, this is something that has been used to oppress our people. Some of the hardest plantations, including Haiti, including South Carolina, some of the hardest Louisiana to work, cultivated sugar.
Right.
And so we can see it also, like how Mama Ayana and Chef Hunia will say, it's not just about food.
Right.
It's everything else that
Right.
comes out of that. And so there's all of these amazing reasons why we are promoting health. And it's not just sort of this like bougie, hey, be vegan, it's
Right.
cool, it's trendy. It's like, this is something that is about saving our communities. It's about saving our lives. It's about a full-on transformation within our community and supporting that, because that's what the planet is calling for.
Yes. And just to emphasize that, I think that the important thing is the reframe in all of this, because we could talk about health inequities, disparities, blah, 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 but it really comes down to the system of racism. That's the thing that is the blanket to all of it. Like if you just look at how it all comes back to the same thing, which is racism that's blanketing all of this, that's affecting our health, our mental health, everything. Like you name any area of people activity, that the root. And so if we keep that in our focus on it, then that helps us to get back easily to the unifier of all of that, right? That's the pandemic that needs to be addressed. That will solve all the problems that we're having. Everything that we have talked about today, if we look at racism and the elimination of that, we on a whole nother level right there. You know what I'm saying? And so I just couldn't let that go any further, because everything else feels like it's all our responsibility to do something on that, and it's everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to say that.
Awesome. Well,
yes,
absolutely, y'all. This has been quite a show this time. This has been quite a webinar. Each time we're just going deeper and deeper and peeling the onion, as it were. We start off talking about, go to this store, we do this, we do that. But essentially, we're talking about a full-on transformation.
Absolutely.
Right? We're talking about changing ourselves from, bye. Hi, Mama Harriet. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. So good to see you. We're talking about a full transformation.
Yes.
And honestly, we're just really excited and pleased that Healthy Black Families is putting this space out there, that we're coming together, and that we want more of y'all to be a part of this conversation.
Mhm.
And the beauty in all of this is that this space is being funded through the sugar sweetened beverage tax.
Yes.
Which was pioneered in Berkeley, you know? So shout outs to Berkeley, gang, gang, gang.
Healthy Berkeley, to be specific.
Healthy
Wait a minute.
Berkeley.
Wait. Healthy Berkeley, to be specific.
Okay.
Which is where the money from the soda tax goes into the Berkeley General Fund and funds community organizations, including half of the funding goes to the Berkeley School District Gardens, as well as rec department programs, YMCA programs like Healthy Black Families, and homeless outreach, multiple. It's feeding people, it's educating people.
And y'all need to go to City of Berkeley and let them know there's no program like ours.
Right.
No,
they're not having the conversations on this foundational level that are being had here. So this is a very unique space, and Healthy Black Families is holding down so much real estate in this conversation for Black people, those who are most affected, Black people in indigenous communities and marginalized communities whose voices are not being heard, but who are most impacted. So we love you, Healthy Black Families. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll have closing from Mama Yana Chef Hunia, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday at 1 for this continued conversation.
Yes.
I just want people to know we're having our health forum that will be featuring further conversation on what things we can do to boost our immune system, to release stress, and to practice self-care. That's taking place Thursday, the 18th, here on Facebook Live, as well as on Zoom. We will have the flyer posted on the Healthy Black Families Facebook page. Please look at Healthy Black Families website, www.healthyblackfamiliesinc.org, www.healthyblackfamilies.org, and check in for all our other classes and workshops. For those of you who are mothers out there or pregnant with children up to 3 years old, we have our Telling Our Stories workshop, which is happening on Mondays. And we have our motherhood circles that are going on that are specific for parenting, pregnant and parenting Black moms. And I'll put the link here for you all to contact both the coordinators of those programs. And then we are having our kindergarten readiness, or our community education forum, where we'll be talking about advocating for our children, looking at what is happening with their learning. And that will be Friday, what is that, the 26th of June, from 4 to 6 p.m. No, 3 to 5 p.m., excuse me, here on Facebook Live again and on Zoom. We welcome you all to participate, spread the word, come back and watch this again, engage your family and friends and community in conversation about staying healthy and practicing self-care. Right. And again, we want to say Healthy Black Families is joining in resistance in everything that we do and supporting our community and the demands of movement for Black lives.
Perfect. And I just want to share real quick. First of all, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's always an honor to work with you all, work with Healthy Black Families. This is the stuff that drives me. This is the stuff that keeps me up at night. This is the stuff that I'm thinking about, like, how can I be a better person, you know, how can I be more? You know what I'm saying? We are here to be more love, more joy, more peace, more prosperity. And so this is just one of those things, you know, this is just a part of that. And I'll be presenting with the Be Still Retreat Saturday.
Yes, you
with
will.
the
That's
Black
right.
Women's Media and Wellness Project. And the theme is self-care is the best care. And I put the link in there. It's Saturday morning from 10 to 11. I think there's more to that, but that was the best I knew how to do on that. So, you know, we're going to be in a lively discussion, and it'll be accompanied by Tiffany Bell, Master Physical Fitness. You know, I don't even know if that's the right word, but yeah, so I just want to invite you to join us then. And you can always contact me at Hunia's Kitchen at gmail.com for more information on that, and any other way that I can be of support to you in my journey. And you know, I'm not really doing much food prep right now. Thank you, Jesus. But I can support you through like some kind of, you know, a wellness plan for food prep or whatever. And of course, Connor's doing the food prep and everything right now, so she got my back on that, got your back on that. But if you're looking for a dynamic speaker to come and pop in on your Zoom conversation, if you're looking for some support in raising healthy children, you know, I raised my children vegetarian, so I know how to hide all kind of goodies in the
in the sauce.
Exactly. You know, because you know we're in competition with Taco Hell and McDonald's and Burger King and all that, so all that good stuff. So anyway, and you know, however I can be a support, but I just really want to express my gratitude for this forum and the ability to inspire and empower our people. You know, it's, you know, that's what we're here to do, and I'm always looking to ways to be of more service. So thank y'all so much. Yes, Chef Kana, what you got?
Absolutely. I was gonna let you close it out. Just same. Thank y'all so much for this space. Honor, privilege, just truly grateful. If you are interested in healthy plant-based meals being delivered to you weekly, we deliver Monday mornings. You can check out healingkitchensf.com, or you can go to our page on Instagram at healingkitchensf. We only have 15 slots every week. They're filling up. I really want to reserve slots for community. So hit me up if you're like, hey, I saw you, I need one of those spots. I'll bump somebody that, you know, is a newcomer. I'll bump them to next week.
You threw down last week, you know, or this Monday. It was so delicious.
Thank you.
The greens and the rice and beans and the plantains, stuffed mushrooms, just perfect. As well as TJ was loving the vegan mac and cheese with
I thought he would get that one.
Barbecue tofu, and your that muffin. I didn't get even a bite. He wasn't sharing.
Is that jalapeno muffin?
Yes, it is.
Oh, don't you know what? Cut the conversation. Y'all know that I'm on a juice cleanse. You know, I'm not eating nothing. I do not want to hear about the jalapeno muffin that I just be I'd be like, Connie, just put a little gravy on top of the muffin. That's how I be getting down. Just put gravy on the muffin. And
I also, before we forget, I just wanted to let people know that we have a new T4C coordinator. I apologize, Hunia, interrupted.
That's all good.
But you apologize to me. It was my turn.
Oh, it's your turn. Okay. Could you announce our new T4C coordinator?
Yes, I can. Shout outs to Miss Rahima. She is freaking amazing. She's so detail oriented. Virgo moon.
I I think we need to get her on here for a few minutes next week.
We will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were planning to get her on the last one, but it'd be great to have her for the next two. She offers so much knowledge, just an amazing spirit, a dancer, a creative, and she'll tell you more about herself.
That lavender business that I love that we all talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So that's it. We'll see y'all next Monday.
See you next week.
Share, like, spread this video and join us next week. Peace, y'all.
And keep resisting. Sacred work.
Fight the power, baby. We're not going back to the normal. Yeah. I love y'all.
Love you too.